Thank you very much, Martin. It has been very exciting to watching and listening all the presentation and all the ambitious, I would say, visions and targets. I have to admit that our presentation will be less ambitious. It will be only one step. We will talking about one step, but we will talking about the next step, the next required step. So, if we forecast what will be the future of Hyperloop transportation technology, there are mainly two scenarios to think of. Scenario one, we will have standalone installations, fully diverse from a technical perspective, connecting cities and countries, maybe sharing a station. Scenario two is what we have seen today many times. There will be a grid-like system running on a full interoperability modus, almost like a rail network. Whatever scenario will prevail, it will deeply impact final standardization and requirements on standardization. It is fair to say that the Hyperloop industry is in a pioneering phase, pursuing very different design concepts. The final proof of concept from a technical and also economical perspective will decide which concept and system will prevail. There are very serious certification activities in Europe led by the European Commission in the US and in Asia. But it is almost in the nature of this activity that standardization is very time-consuming, and a very large number of stakeholders with different expectations and agendas is further slowing down the process. But on the other hand, with no standardization in place, the industry and the investors has to take enormous regulatory, financial, and technical risk to develop their systems. Moreover, investors are more reluctant to invest in new technology in the public transportation sector without having a minimum of regulatory and technical standardization frame available. What to do and how to overcome. We believe in two hypotheses. Hypothesis one, a sound technical, detailed technical standard, including detailed specification for components, can only be established after the first prototype and semi-commercial projects are realized. Based on the lessons learned and the proof of concept of various design approaches, a detailed technical standard can be developed by the industry and regulators and certification bodies. Hypothesis two. All Hyperloop companies are within the most critical design phase. Engineering the final technical setup of the core system and subsystem. There is the urgent need that key safety systems and system requirements are established to avoid that their design will not comply to any future regulation and certification requirements. What is the solution for that? There is the need for a, we call it bridge solution. We do believe that the generic guideline for design, operation, and certification is the right tool and can be used as a bridging standard. Please allow me to give a short introduction of the generic guideline. From an engineering point of view, Hyperloop systems can be described as hybrid systems consisting of different technologies used, for example, in the aerospace, maglev, or rail industry. taking this into account, a multidisciplinary team has been established in order to cover the different required expertises. In the first step, a risk analysis has been done, analyzing with a generic approach the Hyperloop system, followed by a very specific risk assessment of a real Hyperloop concept in cooperation with the HT&T engineering team. In the next step, a so-called standard mapping took place. Relevant standards have been identified, screened, selected, adjusted, and adopted. It turned out that there are many technical standards that can be applied, but there are no consistent standard or guideline exists. There has been the decision of the TÜV board that TÜV will develop a generic guideline to establish the key safety requirements and safety targets of Hyperloop transportation system. The guideline is consistent and it covers all safety relevant aspects. It is not a roadmap, it is a fully developed guideline ready for use. With the guideline, there are specific safety requirements and targets are established. Well, there are a couple of questions normally come up if we talk about our guideline. So I would like to give answers to some of the questions. First of all, is the guideline development terminated? No, we believe that the guideline will be future developed and will evolve. Then, when is the guideline published? The guideline is already published and free available. Just download it from the TÜV website. Another often used question or concern, is the guideline applicable to all Hyperloop systems? Yes. It is not focused on specific application and does not restrict the further development of the Hyperloop technology. So, to come to an end, we believe that the guideline is the right tool and will help you to make the next but very, very important step. Without the proof of concept, all the visionary plans will never take place. So there is the need for the next step. You have to convince, and we hope that we can contribute and help to convince the investors, but also the public, to go for the first real pilot project, for the first semi-commercial small projects. And we believe if we can go out and if the industry commits, we have a guideline in place. And the guideline has a very strong link to the regulations. You will not find any regulators to approve your system without any guideline in place, and vice versa. So I believe if we together go out, taking this as a bridge technology, it will help us, because we hope, and I believe the industry needs to see the small-scale pilot and commercial projects within the next 2 to 4 years. Otherwise, it will be tough for anyone. So thank you very much for your attention.